Alright, this is just a brief video on how to remove the friction slides on vintage toolboxes. This is a Snap-on KRA 59 model, 9-drawer, back from probably the late 70s, early 80s, that we were restoring. And we wanted to do a full disassembly to make sure everything was cleaned up. So, how do you take these things apart? Essentially, there was apparently a tool at some point that you could have purchased to help pull these out of there. I could not find it, so I came up with this myself, and this method worked pretty well. This is a 1/8 inch Allen key that I didn't mind kind of tearing up by putting in a pair of vice grips. And importantly, what it needs to be is roughly a little bit taller than the catch piece that catches the inside spring on the slides. So I can't guarantee what size these are in your box, but generally speaking, 1/8 seems to be a pretty good gauge because most of these were built in very similar fashion. You know, your classic Snap-on, Craftsman, Mac, proto boxes were all basically built with the same version of friction slides. So how do you take them out? So this is our drawer already installed. What we're going to do is go ahead and pull the drawer out to its full extension and then go ahead and push it back just a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to take our tool and we're going to make sure that it goes flat and it goes directly underneath that rivet. Kind of make sure the slide doesn't move. We're going to push in. And when we go in, we're going to feel it hit the equivalent catch right here on the slide. After that, we're just going to go ahead and move that slide directly back, and you see where that piece is sitting right there on the little catch piece for the spring. So we'll go ahead and stop there, move over to the other side, flip our Allen wrench around in our vice grip. Again, we're going to pull out to full extension. We're going to push back about 1/4 of an inch, straight on. Remember, we're trying to hit that little peg inside that we can't see. We get it in there, slides it right out. We can go ahead and take our drawer out, and now we can go ahead and get the interior pieces out. Again, we're going to move our slide. We're going to go ahead and pull that out to its full extension. Push it back about 1/4 of an inch. Straight in, nice and level. Move it in. We just hit the peg. Pop it right out. And last one. Flip around. Pull it out to its full extension. Push it back about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure you don't let it move. Come in, hit the peg, pop it right out. And it's just that easy. Now, there's a couple things that you want to be aware of if you're going to be restoring a vintage box like this. First is that these little springs are very, very brittle, and if you catch them on anything, they can snap. Unfortunately, I broke one when I was restoring this box. So just be aware of that they will break on you, and once these are broken, unless you can find one at salvage, they're almost impossible to find. Secondly, what can happen over time is that little spring that's held in with that little rivet right there can kind of butt up against that interior rail, and that can make it a lot more difficult to push down. I can see if it gets a little bit on there, I can't push it down at all. So if you're having problems with one that you just can't get off using this method, it most likely it's that spring is kind of hung up in there and just not letting you push it down. In that case, the only real thing you can try to do is send something down, either just jam something in there hard enough to get it to move regardless, or send something down right in this upper channel and get it to move back down again so you can get some movement out of it. Unfortunately, that's not ideal because you can't really see what you're working with because this is covered up, but it's a vintage box and sometimes you have to deal with the hand you're dealt on these. So anyway, best of luck restoring your vintage box. I hope you find this helpful. Enjoy doing these old boxes, and thought it might pass on a tip that I kind of struggled with and a method that I thought was pretty handy to get these out of there. Have a great day, and feel free to like or comment below. Thanks.